we don't kill him again, we don't kill him again, we don't come again, we don't come again. Hey, Genie in the house, man. This is it, this is it, this is it. This is the height, man. This is the height. Genie! That's all. You guys never...
State was the fastest growing state in Nigeria. And all the accolades that was given by the Dance Matadeyemi in the media tour attested that the legacy of the late Prince Abubakar Audu was worthy of emulation. That school of thought is what I want to bring out into the minds of the young ones. We have arable land. Agriculture is the oldest occupation. And when you see the pensioners today that are working on the farming project, they're not crying. They're not waiting for the whole salary saga. They're just moving on. And we have that opportunity to feed Nigeria. The arable land is there, the riverine areas. You wouldn't even imagine what we would do. Bringing international investors in. I tell you, I'm well connected. My connections are beyond reach. Starting from the White House all the way to Benin Republic, right here. We will change that. Benin Republic is known for cotton. We will go there with the Biras in the central, right? You have the international trade exchange that Nigeria can benefit out of Kogi State. Cashew is something to look at. The Indians are desiring it so much. And we will work with them to see that these projects come to life. I tell you, the palm plantations in Kogi State is admirable. We have abandoned plantations. And you see Malaysia, what it became from the oil palms out of Nigeria. I tell you, I'm going back there to revive it. This is around the Aloma, Ejule area. Jobs will be created out of this. When you come to the Geregu area after Ajokuta, you would not believe that we have gas outlets that produce power. Power was generated out of there recently. Fertilizer will work, you know, the blends of the different fertilizer, petrochemical plants will come out of there. The oil industry is missing something. And this is affecting the roads. All the trucks that are moving across the nation coming to bring the fuel. We have stations, jetties that was created in those days where actually byproducts can be bashed into Kogi State and then this products transported out. So it will reduce the effects on the road and also reduce the cost of these white products. That's when I mean white product, fuel and even the black products. The crude we do have in Kogi State. Imagine how we have the tussle with Anambra State for the crude oil. But that is just one phase. Kogi has 3 oil blocks. So we can look into that. Other school of thoughts think that they are marginal, that they might not be so much, but that's okay to start. And then with the political will, I believe, Mr. President, through my persuasion and other House of Assembly members, we can get them to look into the Anambra Kogi oil issues. The first oil producing state from the north will be properly recorded as Kogi State. I mean, we have no reason not paying salaries. We will create jobs so the civil servants will be able to benefit from the tax that will come from the industrial parks that we will create. Working with the Chinese, working with the international communities, especially US, Europe, and the European organizations, we will create jobs. Coming out of tourism, don't forget, the Lord Lugard story can be rewritten. We can rewrite the story. Ministries came in, missions came in, and businesses followed it. It's still the same Kogi. It's still the same River Niger and River Benue confluence. For a town like Lokoja, if Dubai can become what it is today, because of the mind and the vision followed the development of Dubai. Why would Kogi be left out? We should attract tourism, we should develop it, we should put cities across the river. In the Bassa area, nice land space, nice view. Great hotels can just be there on the lakes, linking directly to international communities. But we must fight for security. And that's why my amnesty program for the youth is very important. I like to say that the youth is the future. And then fortunately or unfortunately, they form the majority of the voters, including the women. And then the age gap that we call youth today have been waiting to see their future become. That's why we have the violence. That's why we have them pick up guns and support politicians. By the way, I beg to correct people when they address me as a politician. I'm a social activist. I've been doing this even before I became a first lady. My struggle is to see that those who came from the background that I came from, I grew up in the garages, selling food with my late mom. I grew up in the barracks. So I know the reality of life. I know that no one will help you except you have a connection or contact. But guess what? With good mentorship, the youth will bring us to a place where even the elderly will find peace to exist. That's not to say that the agricultural project is fully inclusive of the elderly. The youth of Kogi State have not engaged fully into the agricultural plights we're looking at. For the youth to be fully involved in agriculture, mechanization has to come in. They have to believe in to provide the funding to make that happen, the energy, there's power, developing solar to help them. So I'm not leaving them out. And when I talked about cotton, growing of the cotton, weaving off the cotton and transforming them into what textile industries need, of course there's enough job there for any age group, women, men, youth, and the elderly.
This is what they sit. These are the leftovers.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Education, right now, the conducive environment has to be created. They all want to go to school, but the conditions and the environment are not being taken care of. We have a lot of opportunities with UNICEF, UNESCO. We should tap into this. The international community has preferred standards. The UN has standards, and we must work with this. We work with ECOWAS, we work with G5 countries. The standards must be kept. And when you talk of forestation, as we talk today of climate change, most of this will be achieved by the elderly. They can walk anywhere, and we can build our own homes using these techniques from the wooden crafts, carpentry, roofing, materials. Kogi is rich, and anybody will be rich if you work hard under the schemes that will provide materials. Kogi is rich, and anybody will be rich if you work hard under the schemes that will provide materials. Kogi is rich, and anybody will be rich if you work hard under the schemes that will provide. When people are looking for funds, don't be deceived. Nigerian government, the present government of Buhari, has done so much. It's opened up the over 220 billion for the women in Central Bank. It's not about 10,000 naira or 100,000. It's about it getting access to minimum of 1 million up to 10 million for the YESO program for the youth. What are we talking about? Empower and all this, they do help people if you keep in. But I'll tell you, the counterpart funding must be put in place so the government will create the enabling environment. And we will sign and take guarantees for our young people and anyone to access these funds. We need advocacy, we need awareness campaigns, and the drive, the will for these people to live. Let me tell you, the world has become a global village. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a civic center for the youth to also have their own offices, virtual offices. There's no reason why the internet system in any community should not be robust. When crimes are being created, people will need to report it. You mustn't do it with an outdated technology. And then with the interest of young people for developing apps and creating news online, we will develop the online business platforms. And that is what I did. 2 years back, I came into Kogi and trained over 400 youth. Unfortunately, the programs of the federal government, which was to cover it through the World Bank, did not engage them. But it's now an opportunity for me to engage them. There will be online traders of the tourism we have, online traders of the fresh fruits, vegetables, from farm to table, which we're going to create an enabling environment for them. I tell you, we're going to be busy. In my first 100 days, agriculture would have taken a lead and people will begin to own jobs. My genuine advice for Kogites is to vote their conscience. Don't be intimidated by any party or individual. You have your right and you have to exercise it to get your freedom and your liberty. We are all aware that elections in Nigeria could be shady, but trust in yourself. There's going to be adequate security as been promised by the government. This time we will not allow anyone to determine the vote except the voters themselves. Be vigilant, monitor everything and report everything you see. No one can steal your destiny from you. But YPP, the Young Progressive Party, we invite you all to have a young heart. Feel that you can change the world from your personal perspective, from your handsets, and from any locality you are. You can be the next Donald Trump. Kogi has everything it takes to make you the richest man in the world. Can I tell you that the richest man in Africa today is the owner of cement factory in Kogi State. History has it known that that is the biggest cement factory in Africa, out of Kogi State. So believe me, we will create more millionaires out of Kogi State, multi-millionaires and rich men out of Kogi State if we focus on our natural given solid minerals. And we don't have to go big scale. We can all go gradually. Let the young engage themselves in positive minds, in positive mindset, and we will all get to the top, together, hand in hand, in peace and in unity, Kogites. Let anyone abuse you or abuse your citizenship.